In the sunny kingdom of Udoka, where the tall grasses danced with the wind, lived a kind blacksmith named Chijioke and his gentle wife, Neka. Their home was quiet, and their hearts ached for the sound of a child's laughter. For many years, they prayed to the ancestors. Finally, a wonderful thing happened. Neka's belly grew round with life. Chijioke was so happy. He carved a tiny, perfect spear and a small, strong shield from the darkest wood. For our son, he would whisper to Neka, his eyes full of dreams. He will be a great warrior. The day the baby came, the sun shone extra bright. The village waited. When the midwife came out, she placed a tiny, wrapped bundle in Chijioke's arms. "You have a healthy child," she said softly. "A daughter." Chijioke's smile wavered for just a second. He hid his disappointment and looked at his wife. "She is beautiful," he said. "We will name her Ada. She is our blessing." And Ada was a blessing. She had bright, curious eyes and a loud, happy laugh. But as she grew, she did not follow the path of the other girls. While they played with dolls made of clay and corn husks, Ada was in her father's forge, watching the fire spark and listening to the music of the hammer on metal. She would pick up the little wooden spear, her small hands holding it tight, and chase the butterflies in the field, pretending they were great beasts. "Ada, come away from there," her mother would call. "Come, I will teach you how to make the best soup." But Ada's heart was not in the kitchen. Her spirit was wild and free, like the eagle that soared over the savannah. By the time she was 10, she could run faster than all the children. She would sit on a hill and watch the young warriors of the kingdom train. Their bodies moved with power and grace. The sound of their feet hitting the earth was a drumbeat that called to her very soul. One evening, as the fireflies began to glow, she stood before her parents. Her small chest was puffed out with courage. "Mother, father," she said, "I wish to train with the warriors. I want to learn the way of the spear." Her father's face turned dark like a storm cloud. "No," his voice boomed, making the pots on the wall shake. "A woman's place is here. You will bring shame to this family. You are meant for a husband and a home, not for battle." Tears fell from Neka's eyes. She was caught between her husband's anger and her daughter's dream. "My child, please. This is not our way." But Ada's heart was breaking. She felt like a bird in a cage. The worst night came when her father, his anger boiling over, shouted, "You are not the son I prayed for. Why can't you be normal?" Those words cut deeper than any spear. That night, under a sky full of silent stars, Ada made a choice. With a heavy heart, she took a pair of shears and cut her long, beautiful hair. It fell to the floor in a dark pool. She used a long cloth to wrap her chest, making it look flat. She put on an old pair of her cousin's trousers and a tunic. She picked up the little wooden spear and shield her father had made for the son he wanted. She took one last look at her sleeping parents, tears in her eyes, and slipped out into the night. She would no longer be Ada, the disappointment. She would become Adano, which means, son of the forest. The next morning, a quiet boy with serious eyes stood at the edge of the royal training field. The training master, a strong and wise man named Bello, saw him. "Who are you, boy?" Bello asked. "My name is Adano," she said, making her voice low. "I have no family. I wish to train." Bello looked into the boy's eyes. He saw a fire there, a strong will. He nodded. "You can stay." Life was hard for Adano. The other boys were bigger and stronger. They teased her for her smooth skin and for being small. But Adano was determined. She trained until her muscles screamed and her hands were raw. She learned to use her speed and her smart mind. She became like a shadow, quick and silent. Soon, she could beat all the boys in races and in practice fights. Years passed. The scrawny boy grew into a lean, strong young warrior. No one suspected a thing. Adano was careful always. She was the first to wake and the last to bathe, always in secret. She became one of the most respected young fighters in the group. One day, Prince Kato, the king's son, decided to go hunting. Adano was chosen to go with him. The forest was deep and green. Suddenly, a terrible roar echoed through the trees. A massive lion, with hungry eyes and sharp claws, burst from the bushes. It ran straight toward Prince Kato, who froze in fear. Without thinking, Adano jumped in front of the prince. She didn't have her spear ready, so she did something else. She opened her mouth and let out a fierce, wild roar that surprised even the lion. The big cat stopped for a moment, confused. In that moment, Adano grabbed her spear and stabbed the lion in its shoulder. The lion roared in pain, turning away from the prince. This gave Prince Kato enough time to raise his own spear and strike the lion down. The prince stood, his heart pounding. He looked at the young warrior who had saved him. He saw the courage in Adano's eyes. You were very brave," Prince Kato said, his voice full of wonder. "What is your name?" "Adano, my prince." "From today, Adano, you will be my personal guard. I want your courage by my side always." Life in the prince's palace was beautiful and dangerous for Ada. She had to share a room with the other guards. She had to be extra careful no one discovered her secret. But being near Prince Kato made it all worth it. Prince Kato was not like what she expected. He was not proud or cruel. He was kind and listened to the people. He often talked to Adano as they walked through the beautiful palace gardens. He asked for her opinion on important matters. He treated her like a friend. And Ada, who was really Adano, started to feel something warm and wonderful growing in her heart. She was falling in love with the prince. But it was a secret love, a painful love. She could never tell him. One evening, the prince had a big argument with one of his advisors. He was very upset. He walked quickly to his private balcony, with Adano following behind. The moon was a silver coin in the sky. "Sometimes, Adano," the prince sighed, "this crown feels very heavy." "A heart must be strong to carry the weight of a whole kingdom," Adano replied, her voice soft. Prince Kato turned and looked at her. His eyes were deep and kind. In that quiet moment, something changed. He leaned forward and gently kissed her. Ada's whole world stopped. Her mind screamed in panic. She pushed him away, her voice shaking. "My prince. No. This is wrong. I am a man." But Prince Kato did not look sorry or surprised. A small, knowing smile touched his lips. "Are you?" he whispered. "From the day you saved me from the lion, I saw the truth. I saw the grace in your movement. I saw the kindness in your eyes. A man's clothes cannot hide a woman's spirit. I have known for a long time that you are a woman, Ada." Tears filled Ada's eyes. Relief and fear and happiness washed over her all at once. Her secret was safe with him. And he loved her for who she truly was. From that day, they shared a secret love. They met in the gardens at night. He called her his lioness, and she finally felt seen. But their secret happiness could not last. The king, Kato's father, was a traditional man. He wanted to make the kingdom stronger. He announced that Prince Kato would marry Princess Sora from the neighboring kingdom of Zubair. "This marriage will bring us a powerful friend," the king said. "You will marry her, my son." Kato's heart felt cold. "Father, I cannot," he said. But he could not explain why. If he said he loved another, people would ask who. If he told the truth about Ada, she would be punished for her deception. He was trapped. Princess Sarah arrived. She was very beautiful, with sharp eyes and a smile that was like a mask. She was clever and noticed everything. She saw how Prince Kato looked at his guard, Adano. She saw the secret smiles they shared. A jealous fire burned inside her. She decided to spy on them. One night, she followed Kato and saw him holding Ada's hand. She saw that Ada was not a man, but a woman. Instead of telling Kato, she ran to the king. "Your son is being tricked," she cried. "His guard, Adano, is a woman. She has lied to everyone and has seduced the prince." The king was furious. He felt betrayed. He called everyone to the great throne room. "You," he shouted at Ada, his voice like thunder. "You have lied to your king and your fellow warriors. You have made my son foolish. For this, you are banished. Leave Udoka and never return. If you come back, you will be killed." Prince Kato begged his father to listen, but the king would not change his mind. With a broken heart, Ada was forced to leave the palace, the prince, and the only home she had ever known. Ada had only been gone a few days when terrible news reached her in the forest. War. The kingdom of Zubair, Princess Zara's kingdom, had attacked Udoka. It had all been a trick. Zara was not a real princess coming to marry. She was a spy, sent to learn Udoka's secrets and to make the kingdom weak. Now, with Zara's information, the enemy army was winning. They knew all the secret paths and the best ways to attack. Prince Kato and his warriors were fighting bravely, but they were losing. They were pushed back to the walls of the capital city. From a high hill, Ada saw the black smoke rising from her beloved home. She heard the sounds of battle. Her heart, though broken, still loved Udoka and Prince Kato. She knew she had to help. Using all her skills, she moved like a ghost through the forest. She slipped into the enemy camp, hiding in the shadows. She listened to the enemy generals talk. "The Udokans are weak," one general laughed. "Tomorrow at dawn, we will send our best soldiers through the Leopard's Pass. We will attack them from behind and crush them for good." It was Zara's plan. Ada's blood ran cold. She had to warn them. But she was banished. If she was seen, she would be killed. Then she remembered the secret tunnel. It was a hidden way into the palace that only the royal family and the most trusted guards knew. She had discovered it when she was Adano. That night, under the cover of darkness, she crawled through the secret tunnel. It led her right into the palace. She ran to the war room, where she found Prince Kato and Bello. They looked tired and sad. "Kato," she cried. The guards moved to grab her, but Kato yelled, "Stop. Listen to me." Ada said, breathing hard. "The enemy plans to flank you. They will come through the Leopard's Pass at sunrise. It's a trap." Zara told them everything. Bello frowned. "Why should we trust you? You are a banished liar." Tears shone in Ada's eyes, but her voice was strong. "I love Udoka. I love our people. That is the truth. I would rather die saving my home than live in safety while it burns." Prince Kato looked at her. He saw her honesty and her courage. "I believe her," he said. "We will use her plan." So, they made a new plan. While the main Udokan army pretended to be ready at the front gate, Kato led a small, special group of soldiers. Ada guided them through a hidden path to the Leopard's Pass. They hid and waited. As the sky began to lighten, the enemy's best soldiers quietly entered the pass. Suddenly, Ada and Kato's soldiers attacked. They had the advantage of surprise. The battle was fierce. For the first time, Ada fought not as a boy, but as herself. She was a whirlwind of strength and speed. Her spear was like a part of her arm. She fought her way through the enemy soldiers until she found Princess Zara, who was directing the attack. "You!" Zara hissed, drawing her sword. "You betrayed the man who showed you kindness," Ada said, her voice steady. "You will not harm my home." They fought. Zara was skilled, but Ada was fighting for love. With a quick move, Ada knocked Zora's sword from her hand and held her own spear at Zora's throat. "Surrender," Ada said. With their leader captured and their plan ruined, the enemy soldiers in the pass were defeated. The main Udokan army, hearing the news, fought with new energy and won the war. The kingdom was saved. The people cheered. King Jabari stood before Ada. His head was bowed in shame. "Ada," the king said, his voice old and tired. "I was a foolish old man. I valued old rules more than a brave heart. I banished the hero who saved us all." He looked into her eyes. "You are the true Lioness of Udoka. Please, come home." Then the king turned to his son. "Kato, a king's first duty is to the happiness and safety of his people. You have shown great wisdom in choosing to love a woman of such incredible courage. If your heart belongs to the lioness, then she shall be your queen." The wedding of Prince Kato and Ada was the most joyful celebration the kingdom had ever seen. Ada did not wear a heavy dress. She wore a beautiful tunic of the finest silk, the color of the sunrise, and she carried her trusted spear. And from that day on, the songs sung in Udoka were not only about kings and princes. They sang about the lioness, the girl who proved that a kind and brave heart is the greatest weapon of all. They sang about how true strength is being who you are meant to be, and how love will always be the most powerful magic.